initial reaction. Holy. So this is my R52 project car, and I'm currently building this up to be the best road/track weapon that I possibly can. This is a John Cooper Works front bumper that I bought over 6 months ago with the plan of putting it on the front of the car. I never got round to it because the paintwork was a little bit tatty. Now, if I was to take this to a professional to get painted, it would cost me over £300. So I decided I wanted to do it myself. As you can probably see, I already started doing this. I never finished the job and the bumper has just sat there ever since. The paintwork on this is a little bit tabby, a little bit kind of worn out. There's a lot of flaking of the lacquer on it. Somebody's tried to repaint the edges of it and made a terrible job. So I'm gonna kind of come in, strip it all completely down and try and make it look a hell of a lot better. So before I start sanding any of this down, I need to get the 2 grills off, I need to get these lights out, and I need to get a couple of the fixings off it, just to make sure it's ready to kind of strip. All of the fixings and lights and grills are out. It's time to start sanding. Now, only attempt this if you are an untrained professional like I am. Just trying to get that top layer of paint off so that when I put the new paint on, it sticks well. The bumper's about as sanded down as it can possibly be. Got it nice and sanded down, ready to apply the primer. Now this is where it's probably all going to go horribly wrong. You can't really get sanding down wrong. I can see this going terribly. So I've gone onto eBay and I've bought colour matched spray paint. So we've got pepper white, we've then got a grey primer, and we've got a clear lacquer. Now I'm going to go over it with the primer first and try and get a good coat of that over it, and then we'll see what happens when I put the actual spray paint on. So because it's like still winter and it's quite cold, what I've done is I've got myself a nice jug of warm water to put the paint in. So what the plan is to let it sit in there, kind of warm up, so the paint's not really thin when it comes out. And then I'm just going to go over it, do a light coat with the primer. I might have to do 1 or 2 coats, and then come in with the actual paint. I've done the first coat of primer. I'm unsure if I'm going to do a second coat. I might sand it down in certain areas and then go again. But to be honest, that's laid on really well. I think we've got a nice coat. I could probably just go straight over that with the top coat. I have gone and put paper around so that we can start painting the actual front of the bumper. The bits that are going to be black are kind of covered over so we don't get the white spray paint on them. And then what I've done is, because it's cold, I've gone and got a little gas heater. I'm just warming the paint up, and it's also helping the primer dry and stuff. But yeah, so I'm just gonna now crack on and get the white paint on. Had a bit of a minor disaster. I have run out of paint. I've ordered some more paint, so hopefully that'll be here soon. And then once that's here, I can finish off the paint job. Now, this is actually as far as I got. So fast forward 6 months to present day. It's time to finally give this a proper go and get this bumper painted and get it put on the car, because it would look so much better with it on there. So in my garage, I have this plastic sheet and a squat rack. And what I've done is I've wrapped the plastic sheet around the inside of the squat rack, basically making like Dexter's kill room. And my plan is to use this as kind of like a spray booth to stop spray from going everywhere. Because I could do it outside, but then if it starts raining or anything, it ruins my plans. So if I do it in here, leave the door open obviously for a bit of ventilation, and then use this as a spray booth, I think that'll work perfectly. My plan here is to hang it from the beams. So if I just grab the camera and show you, beams up here, I'm going to hang it from the beam so it hangs into my little kill booth. So what we now have is the bumper set up. It's rotating like a rotisserie chicken, which is kind of the plan. So the plan is to be able to spin it like that, so I can get to all of the different angles. So what I've decided with this one, I'm going to try a little POV number. So I've got this little chest strap thing. I'm going to put the GoPro on it, and then when I'm spraying and doing whatever, I've got a nice view of that. What? So, this is the spray gun that I've got. I think it's just like a cheap Amazon one. So I had a quick look online, and the paint that I ordered came with some hardener and activator, and then it also came with the paint. Now it says that it can be mixed with 15% thinners, so if I need to mix thinners I can. That's good, I've got that. And then it says to add the hardener and activator 2 to 1, so I think it's obviously 2 times paint to 1 times hardener and activator. Now, I've never done this before. There are probably people who have done automotive painting and whatnot before, and they're probably cringing at their screens watching this, but I don't care. I want to try and do it myself, and if I get it wrong, I get it wrong, so what? Behold, my mixing station. I just cocked up there. I tried filming pouring the hardener and activator into this, and I didn't hit record. So the hardener and activator is now in there, 250ml. So I'm just going to open this, and then this is 500ml. I'm going to pour it all in. I have not bought enough paint to not cock this up, so we're not going to cock it up, is it? I have. Oh, that could. Yeah, there we go. So the paint gun I have cleaned out with the paint thinner, giving it a quick spray, make sure that's all working. It's all working. That's good. One thing that's worth noting with this is that most spray guns work top down. So you would fill this up, and then gravity would feed it into the spray gun. Because this is a cheap Amazon one, it's suction fed. So there's a fan that spins, sucks the paint up into the gun and sprays it, which means if this gets too low, it's going to start spluttering. So I'm going to have to be careful and make sure that there's always a decent amount of paint in this at any given time. And with that, I was ready to start applying paint to the bumper. After leaving the bumper to dry for 24 hours, it was time to apply the clear coat and the trims. So it's now a new day, and I've given the bumper, if it will focus, given the bumper time to dry off. The finish on it, I will be perfectly honest, is not incredible. It is a little bit orange peely. I think what happened was, because I was using the suction fed spray gun, I think what happened was because it has to like charge up as you pull the trigger, it doesn't just spray out immediately. Where I've kind of gone over it, it's been a little bit spluttery, and it's left it a little bit orange peely. But I can't use any more paint because I was a moron and I've never done this before. I put all of the hardener and activator into it and mixed it all up. I know that should have been pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, so that paint is now useless. We're just going to have to go with it. I now need to do the lacquer, which, to be fair, if I put the lacquer on and then kind of polish it afterwards, it might look nice, hopefully, maybe, who knows. I'm now going to let that dry off, the little bit that I did, and I'm going to do the black parts of it because I have some spray paint for that. It's just the cheapest stuff eBay could offer, so hopefully that turns out not. And then once that's sprayed up, I'll let it dry off, and then we'll offer it up to the car, and hopefully it looks good. Regardless of how this comes out, it doesn't matter, because the whole point of this process was to just try and do it. I wanted to give it a go and see if I could do it myself. Chances are it's probably not going to be perfect, but it doesn't matter. So I've peeled the paper off because these bits need to be painted black. But to be fair, I don't think with that clear coat, the finish is terrible. I'm now going to put the trims back in. I know I probably shouldn't do that now, but I want to see what it looks like. It's nearly done. This gave me the perfect excuse to do some cleaning. I could then fit the grills to the bumper. All I can really say is with those grills in, it's all starting to come together really nicely. It's starting to look pretty damn good. I then taped off and covered up the white part of the bumper so I could start spraying the trims. The other bits of trim on the car are textured, standing a little bit further away and giving it some little spritzes, give it that textured look, so when I put it on the car, it matches up with the rest of it. I've decided I'm not messing about anymore. I'm not going to try and touch it up anymore. I'm just going to get it on because I want it on the car. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. But before this can go on this, I need to take the bumper off. With the bumper removed from the car, I could then start removing all of the fixings that needed to be removed onto the new bumper. Worth noting here that to get the side lights to fit, I did have to shave the corners off so they would attach to the new bumper. There's no way to put the ambient air temperature sensor, so I've got an Auto Alex zip tie, so I'm just going to use that to zip tie it. Now that's on, let's get the initial reaction. Oh, that looks so much more aggressive. So it's one thing to actually do this job, another to add up the cost and to work out whether it's actually worth doing it yourself or if you might as well just take it to a professional and get them to do it. So for a bit of a rundown of the cost, the initial bumper cost me £190. This would have been the same whether I took it to the professional or did it myself. So initially, I decided to try and do it with rattle cans. I bought a bundle of primer, lacquer and the paint for £22. This amount of paint wasn't enough, I then bought another can for £15. To spray the black trim pieces, I bought black trim paint, which cost me £8. I realised that it wasn't going to be enough, and I decided to go for the approach of using the paint gun. Now, I decided to do this because my father had bought a paint gun for another project that he was working on, meaning this didn't cost me anything. However, the closest I can find on Amazon was £20. I then had to buy the paint to use in this, which cost me £31. And in order to use the paint, I had to buy paint thinners, which these cost me £13. which I would say is a massive saving on the £540 that it would have cost me if I'd have taken it to a professional, and the amount of skills that I've learnt along the way make it more than worth it. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I think it looks pretty damn good, and I don't regret doing it at all. Now, I understand that a John Cooper Works front bumper isn't the biggest modification in the world. It's not going to make the car any faster. It might make it handle a little bit better, but let's be real, to someone like me, I'm not going to notice. The real reason I fitted it is because it just looks so much better. Now, I've heard people say that the John Cooper Works front bumper doesn't change enough to warrant doing it. I disagree. I think it's subtle enough that to the untrained eye, they're not going to notice and they still just think it's a Mini. To someone who knows anything about cars, they'll look at that and notice that it's a little bit more aggressive than it should actually be. Which is the whole thing that I was going for with this. I just wanted the front of the car to look a little bit more aggressive. In some of the more exciting news, a package has arrived for the next video, which is my reduced supercharger pulley, a new belt, some new spark plugs, and a supercharger service kit. So in the next video, when I'm doing the big power mods, all of this is going to be getting fitted. Got a couple more bits to come for it, but a little bit of a teaser as to what's to come. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to tune into the next one where we're going to be doing some big power mods to this car, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you then.